Ding, ding, ding. We are live, and Bron Breaker's coming out to the ring, and also coming out to the ring, yours truly, KJ White, Mr. Every Night, the Iron Man of YouTube, and my war machine, my destroyer, my master man, Mr. Big Nick. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Yeah, it's interesting. We started off with Ilya, now JD, and now we've got Bron in the ring. So clearly we're setting up for a triple threat.
Triple threat's good because I think in this case, you can kind of hide the greenness of Braun a little bit in a triple threat.
Yeah, Bron just gets to be the big heavy in the match. If he just gets to throw JD and Ilya around like ragdolls.
He's so much bigger.
It's a little bizarre.
Ilya's tall as shit, but he's a thin dude. But I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Walter and nobody questioned it because the way he conducts himself.
Absolutely. He's got a little bit of that Daniel Bryan in him, that Bryan Danielson of able to work. You know, he's obviously going to be always the smaller guy in the situation, but you never really view him as completely out of the fight.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like for all those years that Bryan was like, I'll punch you in the face. You're like, all right, I believe him. I think he might punch me in the face. Like he doesn't
go for it, Scrappy Doo.
Man, I got a brother like that. Doesn't care. But
I met this brother.
You might have. But yeah, no, the crowd's cheering. I guess we're setting up Halloween Havoc, and we're gonna have a triple threat for both belts. And there we go. Am I ahead of you slightly, even though I'm on my secondary shit?
No, I think we're right about on spot even.
Right on.
I just got that. I just got Bron saying Halloween Havoc. So, like I said, we're about spot on for the first time in a long time.
There you go. Maybe I got to back to secondary. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, it's Tuesday. It's in the books. We're watching NXT. We're setting up Halloween Havoc now. We're getting a takeover. They've changed the name of it. As you can see by our graphics, we're a little ahead of the curve here as far as, you know, we were up and we're looking good and ready to go. And, hey, look, even that option. But, oh, wait. Oh, we got
a Donnybrook breaking out backstage. We've got Gallus and Brooks and Jensen going at it. And now I've got Toxic Attraction. So instantly we go from garbage to glamour.
I don't want to be rude, but I thought R-Truth was in the middle of that mix.
I wouldn't honestly be surprised. He's not on any main roster.
And Brooks and Dunn playing a big factor in tonight's show as far as Fallon Henry is going to take on Mandy Rose, and then we have the boys taking on Gallus in a bar fight, pub fight.
In a pub rules match.
That's what it is. We're something like that shit.
But so is the match between Mandy and Fallon, is that a title match or is that just a regular singles match?
I honestly do not know. And let's be real, folks. I mean, this is kind of the last episode of the Rainbow brand. We all know, you know, we're going to get through it. But I just got a commercial for this Friday in Winnipeg, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about it. Spill your facts that you discovered there, Captain.
Well, we'll get to that. We're going to talk to the crew for a second, and then because I know they're going to bring it up. But real quick, before I click on these, Rocco, Damien, JV, Dale, Edward, Sean, A-Town. Hello to everybody. I'm going to get to your comments as we go here. We're in the first commercial break. Real funny, though. Did you see the thing going around where, like, what was it? Ricochet and what's his face got jumped in the back.
Madcap.
And then Ricochet threw himself into the gate, and someone's like, "Oh, look, John Cena showed up because in too many bumps, so the attack had stopped, and then he kind of flung himself, and everyone's like, why did he do that?"
No, I hadn't seen that. I've just seen everyone just very much reaching for like a bit of a shadow behind like Bayley's shoulder when they were backstage, and they're instantly saying, "Oh, see, it's Mercy the Buzzard." It's again, it goes back to like seeing, you know, the Virgin Mary on a tortilla.
No, listen,
you're looking for imagery.
Yeah, it was going around a little bit about the the lantern as well. There was one part of the show where somebody has claimed that, oh, look, it's the lantern, but it looks like a fucking pile of something. And they zoom in and put a circle on it, and you're like, I don't know.
Well, it's even
in the mask, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's Alexa in the in the TikTok video that they put out there.
Yeah, no, completely, 100%. Good evening, guys. So last night there was a zip code from the White Rabbit, and that zip code is for Corbin, Kentucky. There's a hotel named Wyndham Hotel, and also Fiend defended title versus Miz back in 2020. So that is correct. There's so much more to this. There's so many layers, and I actually have a cockamamie idea in my head that might blow people's minds. But
rabbits are like onions; they have layers.
There is layers to this motherfucking onion. Yeah, dude. So not only did the zip code take you to Corbin, Kentucky, the other code when you put it in, were coordinates, was a giant pink rabbit in the middle of fucking Italy. Which, A, what the hell is it doing there? B, who figured out how to connect these dots? And it blows my mind of that is so innocuous, but it's part of the story now.
That's why, to me, this whole idea is fantastic, because there's so many different ways you could go with that. Like, he brought up the Wyndham Hotel. Then there's also the White Rabbit Records that's in Corbin, Kentucky, that if you go to that YouTube page, the only two videos on that YouTube page are Jefferson Airplane's White Rabbit, which was posted 15 years ago, I believe. And then a 3-second video that gives out an area, a zip code to Wyndham, Maine, which, is just a hop, skip, and a jump for me.
That White Rabbit Records is really trippy. 2 videos. One was Jefferson Airplane from eons ago, and you're like, how deep does this plan go? Was this all
Yeah, and speaking of discount Wyndhams, we've got Joe Gacy on the screen right now.
Now, some have speculated that Gacy might be pulled into this mess.
Well, I think we've even talked about if you could do a whole video, just, there's plenty of suspects, especially now that you keep getting thrown out that Hunter's saying that it may not be what everybody's expecting. Who you got?
Well, that's a big part of this. And I mean, now, here's where it gets real tricky. And this is how I think I'm very similar to a lot of wrestling fans, including yourself, Nick, where we get so caught up in everything that we start rolling back and doubting our own thoughts of this is too obvious. We figured it out. It can't be true. And like we said, so even little details. The one thing I noticed last night when we clicked on the QR code, it gave us a URL. That URL had 9:30 and the airport code for Winnipeg, Manitoba. So that's where they're going to be on Friday. Now we're looking at the clock again. Is it 9:30 a.m.? Is it 9:30 p.m.? Are we going to go to commercial? What the fuck does it all mean? But every little bit of this, every clue we get, every hint we get, it just leads to more shit. And it's not just like riddle answer. It's like riddle fucking scrambled eggs.
It's become a choose your own adventure book in pro wrestling, honestly. I feel like a little bit because I was even just saying that one zip code, people went zip code with it, people went coordinates with it, and you ended up either in Corbin, Kentucky, going to that Wyndham thing or to that White Rabbit thing, or you ended up in Italy looking at a giant pink rabbit, depending on where you went from there. God only knows. But yeah, there's literally 8 million ways that you can go with this, although I do think that there's going to be a fair amount of red herrings in this.
Yes, now that's part of this, and that's, I do think, is by design. And again, because we don't know the end answer, we think all the clues indicate one thing. So if some of these clues now are really going, okay, it's Wyndham. Like, I mean, to get Wyndham, Maine and this whole White Rabbit Records and then tie it all back. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but by the way, Toxic Attraction is in the ring. So we're getting that match next.
Yeah, we're getting Mandy Rose versus Fallon Henry. So let us know who you think for this match and why is it Mandy Rose?
Yeah.
But yeah, you have Corbin. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, there was people who were like, it's Baron Corbin.
Well, yeah, you have Corbin, Kentucky. You have Windham, Maine. I had somebody throw out to me today that the next one's going to be Bliss, Idaho.
Right.
All right.
Right. Now.
You had... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I was just going to say, because you had Malachi Black's, like the first couple of lyrics of his song embedded in, I think, the coding of the video that they put out.
Yeah, no, I mean,
like there's just all these different avenues and callbacks to stuff way in the distance.
I cannot recall the last time something like this truly captivated all of wrestling.
Right.
Like, was it the Yes movement that really was like transcended everything? Was it going as far back as when Sting was up in the rafters and we didn't know what the hell was going on? Was it, who ran over, The Rock or Stone Cold?
I did it for The Rock.
Right? Like, there's been these moments throughout history where there's a bit of a mystery or a riddle. I can't recall, Nick. I mean, it's 2022, almost 2023. Shit. But it's 2022, and I can't think of anything in the last 3, 4, 5 years that has done what this is doing.
Oh, absolutely. And that's, what makes it hard of when we're doing this, of like, how much do we want to talk about rabbits? How much do we got to talk about what's going on?
But everybody wants to talk about the goddamn rabbit. I mean, and like the first question tonight, the first thing, we're still on question number 1. We will get to more comments. You know how we roll around here, folks.
I think the first comment could have just been hi, and we'd still be on.
Yeah, you're like, so
how we doing tonight?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll be here. I mean, I don't think we'll have a countdown clock on Friday that we did last Friday, but
yeah,
it's so funny. But again, I think you expressed fear of this burning out, this being too much. Like, if the carrot is too far on the stick, do you just sit down and give up and say, fuck the carrot?
Right. That's what I was worried about, especially with the first night, because you had all of this buildup that it felt like it was a pressure cooker of you need to deliver something.
Yeah.
And then when it was already leaked, it felt like it was a turd in a punch bowl. And then now it feels like we've kind of gotten it, like, okay, this is going to go for a little bit. This has legs to it. This isn't, Vince McMahon just, it's going to happen next week.
Yeah. I mean, I like the fact that they're like, listen, you want to tie this all back into actual current wrestling? This is how I felt about the Acclaimed winning the belts, where I felt like everybody was clamoring for it. Like, listen, if Tony Khan was in charge of this White Rabbit storyline, he would have given us the White Rabbit on Friday because everybody was freaking out. We need it. We need it. We want it. We want it. We want it. And I think Tony would panic because he lacks confidence that way. It takes confidence to hold off and know you're not going to lose the audience. I would argue after last night, they might have gained more audience. More people are talking about it. Even some of the podcasts that you and I regular weren't talking about it so much because it's just, gimmicky rabbit stuff. Now they're talking about it. Now they're surmising. Now they're trying to figure it out. It's interesting, man.
It has become wrestling's giant whodunit.
Or who is it? Guess who?
Yeah.
Well, right now we got Corbin, Kentucky. Bliss, Idaho would be hilarious. Now, everyone's fixated on Bray Wyatt. And we know that. By the way, near fall by Hanley. Decent match to start off this back and forth a little bit. But what if it's not Bray? What if Bray's part of this? What if, the references to Bray is somebody that's beaten Bray?
Sounds like you have someone in mind.
There's a couple options here. But one thing that's, I was starting to look at some of the clues and I was starting to try to piece it all together and shit. And I was like, it might be cool if it was The Undertaker. It might fuck everybody up if it's The Undertaker, because you can't be mad at The Undertaker. No one's going to say, oh, shit, it's only The Undertaker.
Right. I mean, you would fear for the man in the ring, I feel.
Maybe not. Why?
He's not full Ric Flair, but just...
Yeah, he's not Ric Flair. I mean,
right. You went out on a good note. Don't ruin it.
But that's my thing. And maybe it all eventually comes out as far as it works its way to this. But you keep in mind, Undertaker walked off during the Thunderdome. If anybody deserved a better goodbye, a better moment when he throws his hand up in the air, it would be him, as far as having actual fans cheering for him at like something like WrestleMania. Survivor Series around the corner. He made his debut at Survivor Series. Again, just a fucking reach and a half. I got a fish pull on this one, buddy. But what if? I mean, interesting enough. It's not Baron Corbin. We know Baron Corbin's aligned with JBL, and that's going to come out at some point. Yeah, and I don't think JBL is involved in the White Rabbit. If this was all Corbin and JBL,
he just comes out, I am a wrestling god.
Right? Just all of a sudden at some countdown moment that like we're gonna reveal the White Rabbit, and all of a sudden you get the ding, 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 and the fucking limo comes rolling out.
I think you might get to a point with that people would be literally throwing things. And Mandy Rose gets the 1, 2, 3 with, there's no need to pin her like that. That's just, you know what you're doing when you pin her like that.
No, I'm okay with that choice of pin. I mean, you got to make sure that your opponent's down.
Most of our male audience is.
Right.
Mandy actually cutting a halfway decent promo after a match to Alba Fire.
Yeah. I think Alba Fire wins.
And then Mandy, they finally moved Toxic Attraction to the main roster?
I think so, because, I mean, the tag team of Toxic Attraction's not really doing a lot right now. They seem to be in a bit of a holding pattern.
Right. Oh, and she lights up. Very much set up and new. Hashtag and new.
Mandy is learning something I learned a long time ago as a child. You do not piss off a Scottish woman. It's true.
And we've got the Equalizer Apollo Crews now.
The Equalizer. Looking forward to Josh Briggs, Brooks, and Jensen, and Gallus. I just lumped all their names together. Briggs, Brooks. Right. It should be fun. I mean, it's a pub match. We'll see. Brooks and Jensen have been booked like, big kids. So I'd like to see them be booked like dudes that know what they're doing in life. But Gallus is good as shit, man.
Oh, absolutely. I'm waiting for the day that Gallus just goes up to the main roster, to be honest.
You think so? It's just a transition?
I think so, to be honest. Well, it's a little bit like what we even talked about with guys like Ilya, with guys like Tyler Bate. Do they go up, or do they kind of just stay in NXT to kind of be that, work rate guy that's there?
Mm-hmm. Well, I do. Oh, shit. Do you see Waller's eyes?
I didn't see Waller's. I saw how Apollo still got the whole the whole gas job there on his eye.
Waller took his glasses off and he had like blood eyes. It was
for the love of.
And Apollo said, "I'm not done with you, bitch." Here comes Wesley. Plus, the URL showed the numbers 9:30, which is Friday 9:30. Wait, am I crazy? But 1 second. Let me confirm.
No, you're accurate.
Okay, that's accurate. We're good. Yeah, 9:30. So yes. And again, the fact that just so happens in the URL, which by design, it has the airport code YWG, I believe it was, or that sounds right. That's Winnipeg Airport, right? So, the one thing that's been really cool that is genius, they're making people watch, and the ratings are showing it.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing is with all of this, there's no way that this is all just coincidence. This is very calculated. This is very plotted out. And this is actual long-term storytelling, which WWE and most of professional wrestling, to be honest, has been lacking.
Yes. They've had a lot of spot booking, and we'll talk about that. And we'll talk about a couple other things as we'll jump into AEW a little bit as the comments go, but we're getting a Connor's Cure little package right now. Of course, An amazing time of year as far as you got to give you might hate WWE, you can't take away what they do as far as charity work goes. So,
right. I mean, I don't want to go full Punk and mention how at times it can be a little, or at least under a certain regime, it was a little flippy floppy, wishy washy. But we'll save that for a rainy day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Funny side note, my kid randomly says, "I want to be Alice for Halloween." I'm like, "That's the funniest thing ever!" Like all this, I spent the last 2 weeks engulfed in Alice in Wonderland lore and connecting it to some fucking wrestling thing, just out of a random coincidence. So anyway,
I was about to say, anybody else, seeing rabbits in their sleep? No, just me. Okay, right? Like now it's one of those of you weren't thinking about it, and now you see it everywhere.
Man, it's crazy. And on top of that, I mean, my kid even has a white rabbit, so that's even funnier. Well, yeah, it's true. A big old.
Is it named Bray?
Could be. But anyway, Tony Khan says not letting AEW release his wrestler. Letting AEW release his wrestlers, and Malachi Black says Tony Khan lying about his contract from AEW. Oh, Tony needs to say less.
Right.
Period.
That's the one thing Tony needs to do right now. He either needs to have an actual organized front and just make a fucking statement on everything that's happened. On this is the situation with the EVPs, this is the situation with Punk. Just be fully transparent or shut the fuck up. Pardon my language.
No, I mean, I get it. Say less. I mean, if I could give Tony Khan a t-shirt that kind of reminds him how to conduct business, say less. Dude, how many times have we shared or seen, memes or gifs or whatever that's, win humbly and da-da-da-da-da and don't, let your actions speak. Tony talks too fucking much, and it comes from an insecure place as far as I'm concerned. Tony Khan keeps saying things out loud because he's trying to control narratives. He's trying to make sure his message. Dude, gives a fuck what people think. You know the truth, and you're running shit. You're a billionaire. Shut up.
Well, sorry. I know we're gonna jump here, but I saw Curtis's comment here that popped me a little bit. AEW, the Wrath of Khan. That's a little bit what it is, and for folks wondering and following along, we're in a commercial break right now. But yeah, it's absolutely I've been saying this, and I'm gonna say it until I'm blue in the face. This is a man who finally feels like he's cool because he was born with a silver spoon up his ass, so he doesn't know how to actually cohabitate with people, let alone professional wrestlers. And so now he's just a little kid still playing with action figures of he can do whatever he wants. He has no plan at all for Ring of Honor. Just got, sold by hook or by crook from Chris Jericho to make him the Ring of Honor champion for the 8th time. It's one thing after another, and it's baffling to watch, to be honest, for a guy who does so much in other professions to stumble this hard, this publicly.
Well, I think it's a case of, he's consistently trying to put out fires, but he's doing it in such a way that it doesn't reflect well on him. And we talked about it before, even before all the shit happened or before Triple H, you can't be out there hugging your wrestlers like you are a 7-year-old. There's a video going around of some girl that waited on the side of the road for like 2 hours to see The Rock, and The Rock's taking a picture with her and she's bawling her eyes out. That's Tony Khan.
I was going to say, just put Tony's face on that.
Yeah, that's Tony. Like, oh my God, it's Cesaro, and he's nuzzling into his chest, right. And it's not a good look. And quickly, we'll touch on this. I'm not worried about the White Rabbit. I've got a monster named Ian that will soon be knocking on my door. Flamethrower Fluff Salisbury, one of the more unique names I've ever seen on YouTube. Right. But yes, stay safe. I know we have a couple people that frequent us, and I know our boy Victor's down towards Miami, but a big shout out and just stay safe, lock it down. I know the East Coast of Canada, we actually just took on one of the most I'll get it out, I promise. Right. One of the most historic storms in our history just took out a big chunk of the East Coast. It's obviously it's Atlantic hurricane season, so Florida, stay safe. All the people out in Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, out on the East Coast, anyone else affected, Stay safe. It literally had, houses being pulled out into the ocean. It's crazy visuals. So, and people are underwater. Nothing but prayers, nothing but thoughts. Everyone stay safe, hunker down, grab some beans, listen to us as long as the battery will let you. But yeah, I don't blame you for not giving a shit about a rabbit. So
I was gonna say, T's and P's, everybody dealing with that, and absolutely. I mean, you're a bunch of crazy bastards. I love you, a bunch of crazy bastards. But if you listen to us and you got that situation going on, I appreciate you more than you know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, stay safe. Make sure you're good before you're worried about any sort of rabbits or pink bunnies or anything floating around.
Right. And my only hope with this channel from day one was to, kind of share the wrestling love. But if we can work off, if we could just be, I don't even know where I was going with that. If we can be a distraction from the day-to-day grind, from the big bad monsters out there, from the things that aren't so pretty, and you can come here and just talk shit and talk about wrestling, then I feel like we accomplished something sometimes. So no matter what's going on in your day, you got friends here on the channel, and please, pop back in Flamethrower and let us know that you're okay.
Yeah. I had to drive 300 miles today because they were evacuating my son's college. Damn.
Yeah. That's good. Get out. I mean, the problem with what happened here in the East Coast of Canada was a lot. Storms come and go, and one of the problems with media sensationalizing everything is when something really is going to be epic, we're all like, we've heard it before.
Yeah.
Right. And some people are stubborn. There's people in Florida right now that are, this is my home and I'm staying here until otherwise noted. So, yeah, I mean, thoughts and prayers. But
there are people that live in the U.S. in a place called Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I've been blessed. I mean, where I grew up and where I've been, I mean, we don't get a whole lot of anything. We're like, all right, snowstorms once in a while, a couple thunderstorms a year, but we don't get hurricanes. We don't get a whole lot of tornadoes. Maybe the north end. We've been a very nice pocket to hang out in. Y'all want to come down to this way? Come on. We don't got creepy bugs. We don't get creepy bugs. We don't got dinosaurs running around. Y'all got dinosaurs. What are you doing?
And that is your weekly wrestling weather report and your sales pitch to move to Canada as well.
Listen, I mean, shit. Y'all might end up here sooner than later anyway, the way shit's going down there.
So we've got Wesley and Tony D'Angelo going at it right now. And I can't remember who he has with him right now. He looked like fucking Vito from WCW.
Isn't it two stack or no? Two stack left.
Half stack, dime piece.
Wait, who left? There was like nickels or knuckles, and
it was like dimes or something like that.
2 dimes.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Sound like we're fucking 50 Cent. 50
I was
cent.
about to say
that should be a DQ. Oh, but we follow the AW School of Wrestling, so we just throw them out.
I'm from New Jersey. I'm like that. I
feel sorry for you, JV. Just because you're from New Jersey.
Yeah. Where's my old school entrance?
What?
What?
Are you talking about? Are we that far behind? We're talking about the start of NXT right now.
Right.
What?
The triple threat match between Bron Breakker versus JD McDonough versus Ilya for the NXT Championship at Halloween Havoc. Going to be amazing. It has all the makings to be amazing.
Yeah, it has the makings to be the best. And it's weird to still say it as the 2.0 era, I guess. But I feel like that's the dying breath of the 2.0 era.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, some would see it as like the start of the next era, but to your point, there's some residual storylines, residual stuff that was lingering around where I think we get Halloween Havoc, we clean up some of this stuff, we figure out where people are going to go, and to be honest, Bron Breakker could lose this belt.
Oh, absolutely. I could see you rocking, especially because with every breath out there is a breath in, and that would be the start of the new era of NXT. So you could see someone like an Ilya, or even honestly like a JD, starting off that new era, and we have to see Bron chase. Bron, we never really, I don't think, unless I'm misremembering, we never really saw him do much of a chase. He was kind of just anointed as you're going to be the next NXT champ.
Yeah, his chase was very minimal, right? He lost his first attempt to get the belt.
Right.
And then won his second one. It was kind of weird how it all rolled out, but that time in wrestling was kind of weird as well. So what's up, Edward? I know it's off topic. If the White Rabbit is Bray, won't be on an ordinary Raw or SmackDown. Sean, I think it's Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
Now people have surmised longer. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that man's I was just pointing. I was saying that man's been saying for the longest time, even when I was fully in the Brayspiracy of like, he's gonna be there, he's gonna just like pop out of the ring like a fucking cake at 9:23, and it's gonna be the Fiend Bray. You're like, it's gonna happen at Extreme Rules. Or at you sold me honestly with the Survivor Series thing too. If it's War Games and he is, and if it's not solo Bray, if it's Bray as a faction, War Games is almost a better idea.
Listen, the thing about War Games, and again, I don't know if we can continue. It depends. Like I saw a comment in the box already, but I'll get to it. I mean, depends on how they roll it out. Can they drag this out until Survivor Series? Maybe it's a maybe, a solid maybe. However, to me, the visual of that red fucking cage, assuming it's going to be red, but that double cage. And all these wrestlers, like the Brawling Brutes and Sheamus and Ridge, and then Roman's not supposed to be at Extreme Rules. He's not supposed to be competing. So maybe it's just the four other than Roman, right? So the Usos, Solo, and Sammy versus the Brawling Brutes and somebody else. Right?
Well, I don't think it'll be the red cage, because I think that was always the problem when they did the red light. It's just red on red on red, and as we know with visuals and everything, that's a bit much. So I think it'll be that steel, that's a better look cage. Yeah, well, because you've seen everything. Like we talked about it last night of how they've done stuff of they've had the light under the ring. Now you're seeing everything to where it's the red circle that goes around the ring. You've seen a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I think they are they've got to be still halfway playing with this of what's really going to move the needle, what's working, what's not working.
I think so. Right? I think
where are people going with this, and where do the trends go? And how do we either go with them or we completely subvert them?
Right. Well, could you imagine if you're like Bray or, Triple H or whoever's behind all the thinking of this, and they put out a clue and people just run off the fucking deep end complete. Like they're like, shit, we didn't even know there was a pink bunny in Italy. Like,
right. They're like, did you know about that? I didn't know about that. Did you know about that? Fuck no, I didn't know about that.
Now, we're assuming a lot of this is on purpose. So it's funny. I said at the end of all this, I would love to sit down with Bray and be like, okay, what were you meaning to do? And what was just a coincidence?
Right. What was planned and what just happened was a happy little accident, to quote Bob Ross.
So, but for me, that visual of all those men in the cage, and all of a sudden we're having lights out and red lights and blinking, but to have a crew like the Wyatt Six, just come down into the ring and be all over that cage. Even initially, just the threat of them entering that cage, or when the lights come on, they're already in the cage and you're fucked, and they wipe everybody out
between the two cages.
Right, and you end Survivor Series with like the Wyatt family, in between both, you end up with I call them Wyatt family, Wyatt Six, Wyatt family, whatever. Because I've said for over a year, you guys can go back. I've never believed that Bray would come alone. I've never thought that was going to be how this plays out. I don't. It just feels better the other way.
We could go more into this on Thursday on Rumble when we got the homie CJ there. But I'll leave you with this. If it is a faction and they do show up at War Games, to me, the best visual you could do is the Wyatt Six in the center of both rings. You have, say, X amount of people on one side, X amount of people from other team on that side, and they just divide and conquer, and they just wreck everybody. They fucking destroy the cage. They destroy everybody in the ring. They fucking destroy fucking people on commentary, everything. They show up like the Nexus showed up.
Absolutely. That's the perfect thought, is that Nexus vibe. When Nexus showed up and destroyed everything, everyone was just sitting there watching their TV like, oh my God. Wait.
So D'Angelo got
hurt,
very hurt, as we were talking about that.
Wesley gets his arm raised, but he looks visibly concerned.
Well, and they're not showing anything besides this with Tony. And Tony, he's fucking on Broadway at this point. He's out like a light bulb.
Dude, a simple move. But look, he grabbed it right away. That knee, when he goes down, they're showing a replay, and the match just got ended.
Oh, you think it was his knee that got hurt? I thought it was him bouncing off the turnbuckle.
No, I actually think he might have. I hate to say it, but you know when you go down real hard on your knee and you get that real, that real swing of the full range and you hit it, I don't want to. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, but the idea that he may have hurt, blown a ligament or something like that in his knee, based on
part of him, the problem was part of him went that way and the rest of him went that way.
It just looked like he caught it awkward, but he grabbed his leg right away and looked at the ref and said, fuck. And that was the end of the match.
Well, and you could tell that's not a work. That's not an angle. Absolutely T's and P's to a good Paisan there. Tony D'Angelo going down in the, stages of combat. But the way that they really weren't showing anything, they instantly just hard cut to Wesley's face looking confused, and the whole crowd stands up behind him and everything and is applauding. That hopefully he's able to make a easy comeback and it's not as bad as we thought.
Listen, I hope it's a stinger. I hope he just caught his knee and it's he fucking it's a deep bruise or some bullshit. But just the way he went down, he grabbed it right away, and you know how fickle that shit can be, an ACL and a PCL. Like you said, now I'm getting a package for Soul, SOL.
No, getting Laguna Beach, the OC.
Bailey better win at Extreme Rules. Ooh, it's possible. I think it might be my bet when we do a preview.
Yeah,
we're only a week away from this shit.
That's crazy to think about. How time flies.
Right, week and a half, 3 episodes, and that's where I think everything's been tied to 6s. And even when you look at that game that everyone played, there were 6s everywhere. Like if you move it and you would see 6. And then again, your brain kind of fills in some blanks for you. But that, I think if we go Friday, Monday, Friday, that's 3 more clues. That gives us 6 total episodes of Rabbit. That's why I think Extreme Rules. That and the poster.
No, you're fair enough.
Bailey, yeah, she can win. Sean, also off YouTube, there was another White Rabbit zip code for Windham, Maine. Yes.
Been there.
You been to Windham?
No.
I knew what you meant to.
I've been to Maine, but not there.
Listen, they found the Virgin Mary on a tree in my town, and they used it.
Jamie.
He's right. So.
My son that I didn't want. Pause. I love you, but I hate it. I feel like I'm what's his name there at that Anchorman. God damn it, with every bit of my fiber, I hate you, but god damn it, I respect you.
It's true. Shit happens. I mean, there's been a lot of cases of that. Son, how are you? Feed your head. It's fed. Trust me.
I was literally at work today looking up the meanings behind Feed Your Head. I was looking into what does the dormouse from Alice in Wonderland, literally like from each interpretation. Like I'm been deep in this rabbit hole. Pause.
Deep. Yeah, I mean, and again, kind of to your point, everyone's diving deep into this. And dude, I talked about with the whole, like, I still really don't have a good fix on what coal means. I don't think anybody's offered up a theory other than yours about, Edmonton's known for mining and
So I thought about this earlier today, and this might be a bit of a reach, but obviously coal is black and everything like that. Maybe a tie into the House of Black, or obviously because they've got the smudge and the makeup and everything, or unless I guess we're gonna keep it WWE Judgment Day. But again, I know that's very much
okay.
A reach of Dooney.
Yeah, and I mean, tying it back to the House of Black, Rocco points out that there was lyrics from Aleister Black's song was one of them, and I think that's one of the where we gotta watch what are they throwing at us that is complete bullshit.
Yeah, that's a red herring at this point, especially with everything that Aleister talked about on his Instagram live thing and everything, which I've got snippets of. That's absolutely a red herring. I don't think that man just needs to take a break. Honestly, the man, whether he's been Malachi Black, Aleister Black, Tommy End, that man's been going nonstop. Just take a pause for the cause like we do at times here.
Right?
Woo-saw, my buddy.
Woo-saw. He needs it. And even if he was in perfect mental capacity right now or mental health, if he was solid right now, he still needs to breathe because he tried. He really, really wanted. Like, to me, he comes off as the guy that puts himself in his work, kind of like what we're seeing with Bray. What?
I was going to say he's Bray. He's like Bray. To me, I was going to say it's not that he needs it. He's earned it. That man, to me, what you see with what he's done with his characters, that's him. That's him trying to do his art.
And I think when it doesn't work, and trust me, dude, I get mad. Look, I was bummed out that I forgot to put the ticker on last night on this bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you put yourself into something,
right,
you take it almost personal when it doesn't work out. So you felt like, oh man, WWE didn't work out, but Vince is old and Bruce is an idiot and this one sucks. I'm going to go to AEW. This is the land of the free, and we can't wait to have this, all these promises met. And then it doesn't work again. You kind of need that breather to step back.
When you're poorly booked again, I'll say that.
I'm not saying whose fault it is. But regardless, in his head, he didn't pick up the W, right? He went out to the field of battle and came back with an L. No matter whose fault it is, that's where I think he feels dejected. And I think where you see Buddy, I think there's going to be more and more wrestlers that feel this way. And we talk about FTR, Miro, Andrade, all these guys that aren't being used. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. That's the sad part is you could name a list of people that you could drop into any company and honestly even back into WWE, and they're already, you can see pay-per-view matches and everything lined up for them, but for whatever reason it just isn't materializing in AEW, whether it's Tony's booking, whether it's certain
definitely the booking,
backstage politics.
It took them 4 weeks, 6 weeks total to turn Julia Hart into a House of Black member. What?
Oh, I hated that for the longest time. And now I feel bad for that poor girl because she took that all the wrong way.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's done well. I like her look. I like her attitude. She's a beautiful young girl, but I mean, dude, please don't take any more table bumps for a while.
Right. But it's one of those and I think, our buddy, Mr. Jim, that you and I both listened to, mentioned about this, of you're doing spots like that on a
When did Brandy start wrestling?
Amari Miller versus Sol Ruka.
Woo! Ruka.
Who in the Rudy Blue Hell?
But I mean,
Holly Holm has showed up to face Brandy Rhodes. That's what this looks like.
Son of a bitch. Cameron Grimes for the win. Is Cameron Grimes fighting?
Gacy.
Oh, tonight. You're okay.
Yes, well, that's another interesting thing. I don't know if you've seen the video kind of going around from like the house show stuff that they've done to where now you've got the person in the red hood with the smiley face mask.
Yeah.
They're looking at a thing.
Yeah. What is up with that?
Rabbit.
Fuck.
If we see a fucking smiley face show up in one of these teasers, I swear to God.
I'm waiting for Jericho to show up at fucking Dynamite with a rabbit on his t-shirt. Just to fuck with everybody.
He'll just start calling himself, instead of the GOAT or whatever, he'll just say, I am the rabbit of professional wrestling because everyone chases me. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
See, Chris, I just wrote half your promo for you. I'm sure you can drag it out into another 20 minutes.
The Ocho. Man, I used to love saying, like, cracking jokes about the Ocho. Now I don't even want to talk about it.
Right. Bold move, Cotton. Bold move.
That was a bold move.
Well, no, that was F&A, Cotton. F&A.
Breaking news: Toni Storm versus Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's Championship tomorrow night on Dynamite. It should be a good match.
Oh, it'll be a fantastic match. I think Toni Storm wins, but it'll be a fantastic match.
Exactly, agree with you on that one. Mandy, Jericho, and his coding thing.
What?
Like the Y2J shit.
Oh,
save us! Yeah.
Did you watch now?
Oh, okay, that's why. This is what
you're gonna see one of these to where it's got something like that, and it's gonna be Y2J,
right?
Especially what is it? It's Winnipeg on SmackDown, right?
Yes.
Y2J right there. There you go. It writes itself.
All right.
They'll just have a bunch of 8s, and then everyone will be like, see, it's the Ocho.
No, not enough people for me are talking about the fact that whole Who Killed the World is literally, that whole video is still, I went back and watched it several times, there's not wrestling from the 80s there. There's not wrestling from the 2000s there, with the exception of like John Cena as we get later, Cody Rhodes, but it's
Ole Anderson.
I didn't see Ole Anderson.
So he's the one that is in that whole little shroud, because it's when it's the Dark Scorpion versus Sting, that whole feud back in old WCW.
Oh, there's that who was over. Okay.
Right. And where they did it, because they kept it a mystery of who it was. So Ole was there as the figure, and they altered his voice. That's why he sounded like the Inspector Gadget villain.
Mm-hmm. But the imagery, dude, I'm telling you right now, everybody mark my words, that DX anniversary is about to get fucked up.
That's not a bad shout. Like, I really do like that. I think there's the potential for that to not happen as well. And that's the thing with everything that makes this beautiful, is that there's a 100% chance it's going to happen and 100% chance it's not. But I do think, like, how do you make, say, someone that's coming back, even if it is just Bray, that's going to get cheered, a heel, have him attack Shawn and have him attack Papa Paul. Have them attack a bunch of old baby faces.
See, I'm torn on this one. This is something I haven't come to terms with yet, Nick. As far as this might be too cool for him to come out as a heel. He's got to be able to dig in and really swing at, okay, I'm a heel.
But see, so to me, the thing is, I guess you go the Undertaker route with it, almost, of even if he's not a heel, or you just let him be him.
Yeah.
If they fucking cheer, they cheer. If they boo, they boo.
But and it could be something as simple as DX is supposed to, like, they're in the ring doing their thing, lights out, and you turn back on and everyone's down. And you don't know what the shit.
That was a clever ass. If that's the finisher, that was clever.
That's a clever ass right there.
Pause. And I'm not talking about daddy ass. Pause.
Did she miss it?
No, she spun herself a full 540 and then hit a leg drop out of the corner.
Yo, this Sol Ruka's got a future.
But a terrible name.
What?
But a terrible name.
Yeah, Sol Ruka sucks.
I sound like Veruca Salt.
She reminds me of like Tori Wilson, kind of, in the sense, like, oh, face buster. That's maybe why. Throwing us a little X-Pac, but okay, that's interesting. Onto the back, nice finisher. She's got a look. She's got a size. What did you pop at?
Talk amongst yourselves. I found my own joke in there.
Can I sing you the 12 days of wrestling? Oh, fuck, Paul. You can do whatever you want, Papa Paul.
Right.
So
you've been striking gold this whole time, so go for it.
She looks like Lions. She looks like Lions and Starks had a kid.
She looks like Holly Holm.
She does.
Sheryl Crow with that whole surfer shit.
Boring. Sol Ruka for the win. If anybody did not pick Sol Ruka, you're not watching wrestling.
If anyone knows who was in that match up until just when it started, good on you.
Right. Robert, you've been a little quiet lately, buddy. I haven't heard much from you, but he's happy about Saraya. joining All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I think it fits her well in the sense of big fish, small pond.
Oh, see, I don't even think that at all. I think she would have been, if she could have still gone in the ring, she'd still be competing for a title. She would be SmackDown Women's Champion right now.
Superman,
I don't think it's big fish, small pond there. I think she very much elevates, and she hopefully, unless they ruin her and waste her like they have with half a dozen other people on that roster, she elevates that women's roster. She gives that women's roster some credibility. And I'm not saying that it didn't already with Britt or with Tony or Ember, etc. But that's a former like WWE Women's Champion multiple times. Like she was a star in WWE, not she was from NXT and she kind of made it and we really liked her. None of that.
Right? No, I agree. And Dale says the same thing. I've heard for a while that we are not getting Roman Reigns at Extreme Rules. So
no, the Tribal Chief does not get involved in Extreme Rules matches.
Secondary pay-per-views. Get out of here. Now the masked person behind Damage Control. I mean, you watch. You know what it reminded me of? Signs, where like the alien walks across the pathway and everyone's like, ah.
Right.
Is again, are they just fucking with you, or is there something behind it? There was also the lava lamp. There was the bird again. Somebody claimed that there was the lantern, like the Bray Wyatt face lantern. I can't corroborate that story at this point.
See, this is just right up my alley because I like the Saw movies, like me and the missus do, like the murder and a mystery boxes and all of that. So this is just right up my alley. But that's I guess what makes me the constant skeptic with some of this stuff.
Right. No, and I agree. And you know what, Nick, we've come on these streams for hours upon hours upon hours, and not to toot our horns because we're just guys that love wrestling. Right. But we've been talking a lot. And I mean, about the fact that when done right, you have all these tools where people talk about kayfabe and it's dead and the fans, the dirt sheets and the fans need to know everything. But if you use that against them, if you're smarter than the crowd you're playing to, it's a genius thing. And this is a perfect example of you can use social media. You can use social media to build up, you know, if Punk and Young Bucks could ever try and get back together and make sense of what happened and sell us on that it was a shoot, you have things like social media and the dirt sheets and all these rumors. If used properly, it takes kayfabe to the next level.
Oh, I think this is a prime example of, you know, kayfabe still existing in 2022. I think the whole MJF situation is a prime example of kayfabe still existing in 2022. It's just, I don't know what it is. They just seem to refuse to want to go that way with it, or just they can't commit to it. Or I think that's why people still instantly think that, or halfway thought the whole All Out situation could have been a work and may still be, because you had situations like that work.
Yeah, I mean, you really have an opportunity to build things up using social media. I think that's, you know, I mean, the one perk or benefit of Logan Paul is being able to do that. You've seen him drive the value of nothing exhibition fights to mass amounts of money just by using social media.
Right. And speaking of, you know, driving things to the moon, we have Cameron Grimes coming out right now.
There you go.
We've got Cameron Grimes versus Joe Gacy. So let me know who you're taking for this match.
Hashtag give him his chest hair back.
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
Pause. I don't want to talk about a man's chest hair, but we did.
I'm just saying. They got to stop shaving men down, you know.
Pause. Go fucking away. Pause.
They gotta stop doing it. Shaving them down, dyeing their shit. It's funny as hell.
Digging the hole deeper, sir.
It's not helping at all. Could it be Corbin? Because of the tie-in with Corbin, Kentucky, the Wyndham Hotel. Remember, Corbin left with JBL in a limo, or did he? What if Bray can mimic others? Oh wow.
If Bray's Shane's son now.
I was with him right till the end, Chris. I love
now. That's when you reach.
Yeah, and I love the fans. Keep your theories coming. I mean, we've on multiple occasions been on live looking like complete dorks because we're fucking clueless.
We sat there and had a We sat there and had a whole countdown clock, and then it's just we got Lenny Alligator.
But that clip where I just randomly burst out laughing because we were crickets. But
it was just awkward. Well, it's even like last night of, you took a little moment to sit there and research everything and everybody's talking. Did you see this? No, bastards, I'm here.
Yeah, no, but look, could it be Corbin? Could this somehow tie into the white limo and JBL? I don't think so. I think Corbin's going to come back in a big way. Listen, guys, girls, everyone else in between, be very clear. At some point, Baron Corbin's going to be the world champion of this company. And I know it might seem ridiculous. It will happen.
Elizabeth. Yeah, no, friends, gentlemen, countrymen, lend me your ears. No, that's not going to freaking happen. I still, yes, you got it. But I think that we're going to see like not exactly happy Corbin of like the gimmicky, the dad jokes and all of that, but we're going to see big baller Corbin come out to where he's, actually, having all these fine dining, going to all these fine dining restaurants, wearing all this expensive shit. And he's going to be backed by JBL. It'd be weird to have JBL involved in some spooky shit.
No, that's where the stretch is. Now, again, I think a lot of the things like Corbin, Kentucky and and this and that, a lot of it is to make you go, oh, it must be him. Oh, it must be. We talked about it. I mean, there's videos from the one house show. The lights go purple right before they go out.
Mm-hmm.
The QR code comes up in front of Dominic Mysterio's face.
The Purple Club.
The Purple Club. We're getting a lot of tie-ins with other people. Karrion Kross was the White Rabbit. They know people are smart enough to figure that shit out.
They have the hourglass in the corner or in the red circle.
But I haven't clicked on it yet because we're so far behind. But my guess is the actual White Rabbit is Bo Dallas.
Wow. Sorry.
What the fuck?
So Gacy picks up the basically squash victory on Cameron Grimes, obviously because the dyad gets involved, and so it's basically a 3-on-1 match.
He got schismed.
He's throwing up the scissors. Scissor me, Gacy. Pause.
To the moon. Squashed. I'm shocked. Baron Corbin becomes champ. I'm done until he loses it. No, give it time. Keep in mind, John Bradshaw Layfield was just Bradshaw. A beer drinking, long-haired, no nonsense motherfucker that everybody liked, but nobody loved. Nobody, they were good tag champions, da-da-da-da. This man leaves, coming back with a haircut and a limo, and next thing we're like, holy fuck, JBL is world champion? Who's JBL?
He was the biggest heel. I was about to say, don't you try and say, Bradshaw wasn't over, because the APA was over like all get out.
Not the same way though.
Oh, I get it. You weren't picturing them. You weren't picturing Bradshaw as world champ.
No.
You picturing them tag champs. JBL, world champ. Because I am a wrestling god.
But that's the thing. JBL has an opportunity here with Corbin, who has shown at times, corporate Corbin showed times where he could handle the microphone. He can talk. Just stop giving him stupid shit to do.
Right. No more Constable Corbin, anything like that.
No, just let him be a dick. He's a natural dick.
Right. The man, you seem like a nice gentleman outside of it. Like I'd hang out with you, Corbin, but you have a very punchable face.
But even when you do, like you said, and you see, like those backstage interviews and stuff sometimes, and when they followed him around with NXT and doing the 24/7 shit, it was very much of, no. I mean, he's like Goldberg that way.
It's thick 30.
Oh, on that note.
Oh, God. Keep it to yourself. But so we've got Nikkita Lyons coming out right now with Zoe Starks. So I guess they're still teaming up and everything. But she's going on again, or she's going head to head with Kayden Carter. So is this a precursor to a tag team title match? Who are you taking for this match? And now, as I say that, and KJ takes a little pause for the cause, we're getting an advertisement for, so I believe it's next week's Raw is the 25th anniversary of DX. And of course, I like all the talk about Shotzi getting her tank back, and I'm still saying under Papa Paul's era, it'll just be a Jeep, with some fucking PVC pipe on it, painted green, like they showed up to WCW with. But while we are in commercial break, folks, I will let you know that we are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this all the time. Anything that's going on in professional wrestling, as you see at times, it even gets a little hard for us. So we're talking about everything going on with the White Rabbit, trying to stay on top of the action, trying to get to all the comments. But there's just so much going on. There's so many rabbit holes to go through, folks, and everything. But we are here for WWE, what? AEW, what? NWA, what? GCW, what? Which we might be here for them on the weekend. Pay attention, folks. Ring that bell notification. You're here for XPW. What? We're here for anything and everything. I even left out half the promotions. We're here for anything and everything when it goes on in professional wrestling. Nobody does it like we do. We are here pretty much 7 days a week. Sometimes we're here multiple times in a day. Sometimes we're sitting there setting up streams for a show later that night while we're already here live. But I will also let you know, folks, go ahead and get yourself a lovely t-shirt. We got merch, folks. You don't have to go down any sort of rabbit holes for this. You just go ahead and, hit up Alt Wrestling Tees on Instagram or go through Redbubble, and you can get yourself a lovely what t-shirt. Said a what? I'm talking about a what t-shirt. Or you can let whoever you want to let know that you are about that action. You are the Mr. Every Night. You are here, styling and profiling. You are the Superman of streaming, the Iron Man of the internet. Or if you're just sick of all the nonsense, even like if you're sick of hearing about all this White Rabbit nonsense and everything, you can get a whole shirt like my brother from another mother here and let people know, cut that shit. Or if you think that they're just going off on some conspiracy theory with the White Rabbit that just makes no sense to you, it's a little bit of a reach, just let them know, cut that shit. But while I try and find my stuff, there we go. So let me try and get through some of these comments here. Maybe make a 6-woman tag, Solo Ruka, Lyons, and Starks. Chris, I feel like that's got a hint of McMahonism in there, in that they're all attractive blondes. Pause. I don't know. Why did I pause that? What? But yeah, I think that's got a touch of McMahon in that they're all, good looking blondes. So maybe not fall so much into the stereotypes. Damon saying Nikkita. Chris saying Nikkita. Jake, what up? Oh, I like that thumbnail or the little profile picture. JBL was a wrestling god and a prick and a half. Go ask the Blue Meanie. He was absolutely the wrestler you love to hate. He a little bit like MJF right now, but MJF's actually good. JBL, you're just like, oh, you self-righteous prick. But anyways. Yep, got that. Just like Corbin. Yeah, fair enough, KJ. I'll give you that. They do work well together. Absolutely. Yeah, but an actual stereotype that works of actual wrestling talent. Listen, man, Chris, keep it a buck. You saw her have one match, because trust me, that's the same one match I've ever seen her have. So don't judge talent just on one match. That's how we get dudes like that guy from AAA CMLL. That's number 8 on the PWI 500. And no one can say any big match that he's had. Nobody can talk about anything really that he's accomplished, but he's number 8 because somebody saw a gift somewhere, or somebody saw a little bit of highlights, or somebody just heard somebody say that you should like him, and so you do. She's only had one match, so sip it down. But so now we've got Kayden Carter and Katana Chance. I'm glad I remembered that name because now that I say that, I'm going to forget her previous wrestling name. But so we've got the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions coming out right now. Very much looking like the rave girls that they seem to be, with the whole, smoke guns or smoke cannons and all of that. But I do think this is going to be a good match. I do think Kayden Carter is a little bit underrated. She does have a talent. She's kind of been just, if she was in AEW, she'd be wrestling on Dark every week. But I do think Nikkita Lyons, they're setting her up to be the next, or at some point, a women's champion. I don't think she's just going to be forever in a tag team. She's not going to get the Natalya Neidhart treatment. Sorry, Natty. So I think that at the end of the day, Lyons picks up the win here. But if you haven't given me a prediction, or if you just simply disagree with me, and all right, she did a little booty shake, so very much she's obviously knows what's going on. She's seeing everything that's going on in the internet wrestling community. But if you haven't given me a prediction, let me know you take for this match, whether it's Kayden Carter or Nikkita Lyons. Nikkita Lyons. It's thick 30 right now, folks, because Nikkita's just throwing her around. It's literally, she's got her in a back suplex hold and just tossing this woman. Damien says this women's NXT women's division in NXT is not bad. I'm kind of liking the women's division in NXT. Oh, we have Kayden Carter doing it back. Are we just going to have like a twerk off in this match? Because Nikkita just does a kip up in like the, praying pose. She got the Sonya Blade costume from Spirit Halloween is what Nikita's wearing. But I do find it interesting. We're starting into the match, and both women have already kind of had a little twerk off battle.
Sonya Blade.
Yeah, you would pick now to come back with that.
Sonya Blade never looked so good.
Sonya Blade never looked so thick.
This is an interesting matchup. I'm not quite sure why we booked it.
But it is still an interesting matchup. I think, she missed that kick by a fucking yard. But it's interesting because, like I said, I feel like Kayden Carter is one of those wrestlers that if this was AEW, she'd be on Dark every other chance. But she's actually can go. She's got some talent. She's got an interesting look. I'll give her that.
Interesting look? What do you mean interesting look?
I think she's fine.
Well, yeah, that's the interesting part.
Right, exactly. But yeah.
I love it because we're so used to the Barbie dolls. And no offense to any of the ladies that came before this. There's a lot
looking at you, Sable.
Well, yes, right?
Looking at you, Tammy.
There's been a lot of looks without substance. There's been, we went through the whole, not the entire Diva era was a mess, but a lot of it was a shit show. But to see, a woman who's not being, she doesn't have weird shoulder pads on like Nia Jax. She doesn't look like a Spartan got loose and got stung by a bunch of bees. Like, no, literally, I know it's a weird take.
No, I'm like, who are you talking about with that one?
But she's Nikkita, and she's going to win this match. I highly imagine, but again, she doesn't look traditional, like the way people, on the magazines.
That's where you went with that. Okay,
right? Yeah. So I had a point somewhere.
Well, no, I thought you were going to go with Kayden the whole time you were talking about that, and you went with the blonde one.
Yeah, I went with Nikkita, but no, but and again, if you look at the ring right now, like. Two thick ladies on varying degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, again.
How you doing?
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, one, Nikkita, don't give up on the pin prior to the person kicking out, rookie. But that should be her finisher. I don't know what she fucking around with other moves for. That's her finisher, like the Michinoku driver.
The Michinoku driver, the 2 count special.
The 2 count special, but the way she did it was impactful.
Yeah, because she planted it on her goddamn head. It was impactful because we're lucky that the match is still going.
So are we heading towards a tag match at Extreme at Halloween
Havoc? Bet you, because we've got Starks and we've got Katana Chance. There we go. At ringside.
Man, I fuck up that the Chance and Carter. You would think their names were Russian because I can never fucking put them together properly.
It's because it's like your friend who names all their kids with the same the same letters starting off. So this is Braden, this is Brandon, and this is Brett.
I have Brian, Brandon, what's like
right
cousins that you're like, man, every time you yell, you're not sure who we're yelling for.
Exactly. Christ, well, I got that, but we all had very different names, and sometimes the cat's name got involved, and we still do. We were fucked up.
Yeah, you knew you were in shit.
Right.
There's the win. Yeah, actually, Soul looks like a mix. Like if you morphed Zoe Starks and Nikkita Lyons, you get Soul Ruka.
Veruca Salt? Why?
Veruca Salt. Half the people out there right now are like, what?
What exactly? What?
This reminds me of when the Godfather and Rikishi got a dance battle. What does?
The twerk off.
Fuck off.
So you have Rikishi.
Sorry. I know we said Nikkita, but not that Nikkita.
I mean,
no, when I was looking at Nikkita and Chance, was it Chance or Carter?
Carter.
When I was looking at Carter and Nikkita, Rikishi or Godfather never crossed my mind.
You didn't want to climb aboard the train.
Oh no. Hey, in my house, Nikkita is always on dark. LOL.
Oh, cut this. Behave yourself, boss.
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you to chase you.
Yeah, you know what? Dropping out in the splits the way she did. I mean, that looked.
You didn't need to help it. You're not helping.
It looked vicious. Oh wait, we got Vince Vaughn is here.
No, we're getting a replay of Old School. I don't know. Did they splice Old School into your show? I don't know. It looks like they did with me.
You're my boy, Blue.
You're my boy, Blue.
Oh fuck. These women are out of everybody's league. Even Mandy has married a pretty boy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And I know nothing. Listen, I remember when they were following her dude around, and he just lacked personality. So good for him.
I can't afford Gucci, but I can still fucking window shop.
What? This Chance you shit is getting. Now I got Chance you coming with
the Chase you thing's getting over somehow, some way, and I wrote it off as it's just the Job Squad, and it's getting over. Oh, we're getting Ilya versus Zion Quinn coming up.
It shows you. That's interesting. Give Ilya his red eyes back. Remember he had the red contacts?
Listen, we already have Apollo Crews with a bloody eye. We already have
Wallers are fucked up
red eyes. We don't need pink eye going around NXT.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of the point. I mean, yeah, no, I mean, she's beautiful, but I mean, she wouldn't give me the time of day.
Right. Spoiler alert, that's part of why we turn in. Sorry.
I mean, they take a pretty boy, but I guarantee he ain't throwing it. Never mind. Anyway, it's time once again.
Not helping.
No. We're digging deeper. Now we're back on the whole train. Fuck, no wonder girls turn into this. We need Gucci Man.
Gucci Man, Vinci. Giovanni Vinci. Yeah, he basically looks like a Gucci model. I felt like that's very much what they were going up for.
But he is happily returned to Imperium, and don't fuck with it.
He's still Giovanni Vinci.
He is very Giovanni Vinci. Man, that women's match was clunky mess, but I loved it. Artist, it was clunky as shit, but I didn't even care. Like Nick said, you damn near killed the lady.
Yeah, it was a sloppy jalopy, but you paid attention.
I was gonna say, like you said, to miss that kick, you fit a small car in between their foot and where it was supposed to be. But
exactly.
You know what? It was quick. It was simple. It got to the point. It builds the story. I'm all for it. Fuck it.
That's what she said.
Right.
It was quick. It was simple. It got to the point.
I still think Chase U is a horrible faction. As a faction, I don't care. Andre Chase is proving if you're convicted and dig in, you can get something over.
It's cannon fodder. You cheer for it as a whole, but they're gonna just get thrown from fucking pillar to post.
Cannon fodder. I love it. It always makes me think that we're just lollygagging. Quinn should get pushed. He reminds me of a smaller version of Batista. I do think there's a future for Zion Quinn with wrestling. I think he's got something, but we'll have to see how he develops.
Oh, he's got a look. He's got the Samoan style tattoos. Absolutely. You know, that's very much the WWE's motto. Do you look partially Samoan? Yes. You're in like Flynn.
Do you know what's funny that you say that? And I know we're a little off topic, and we are in a commercial break right now, folks. We are getting Ilya coming up against Zion,
like we were just talking about.
But it's funny how many of the Samoans actually were portrayed as Mexicans, as Japanese, as everything but Samoan for so long.
Because they could go in the ring, and it's one of those of just, I guess at that point, we hadn't been exposed to enough Samoan athletes or anything. Yeah. So it's one of those of, well, you can kind of pass as that, and they'll believe you, so go for it. Like, how many people probably just it's like killing Santa Claus right there. Just how many people still to this day believe Yokozuna was Japanese?
Oh, I know. It's crazy, right? Like, and I mean, the Usos have talked about it in some of their documentaries and stuff of like, hey, that's Uncle. Like, we know who that is. That's bullshit, right? That's Unc.
Oh, are we still going to get the 2 out of 3 falls match as well? Or not 2 out of 3 falls, best of 3 series.
Is that next week?
Between not Heath Slater and not Razor Wing.
Not Heath Slater.
Well, now we're getting soccer footage of him playing soccer. What the hell does that have to do when it comes to pro wrestling?
He's got gigantic balls.
You know, he can kick balls.
He kick balls. That's where I need CJ. I can't do the pitch.
Right.
This channel coming up, Mike. Now that we are in a stupid package about how great this guy is at soccer and decided to wrestle, because that's a natural transition we've heard of all the time.
Because I couldn't make it professionally, so I figured, why not try wrestling?
The long history of transformed soccer players to wrestlers is astonishing. So this is a good package.
Right.
I'm good with my head. All right. Anyway, but Mike, we appreciate the compliment. This channel is coming up. We've creeped past 800 for like the 3rd time. But yeah, we are growing by the day. We are still not even a year old. I think we're at 8 months ish. Are we at 8 months? No,
I think we're at like 6, homie. I can check that real quick. Go ahead. Finish your promo. I'll let you know.
Actually, I got a calendar here. Tomorrow. Oh no, that's not it. That's something else important. Wednesday. Our anniversary is on a Wednesday. So we've been, as of tomorrow, 29 weeks.
Oh, for Christ's sakes.
28 weeks. 28.
Listen, Mom, let us know how old the child is.
We just hit 7 months.
Really? Because I can go to YouTube on our first video 6 months. So I call
I'll take it. All right, I'll go with 6. It sounds better. But yeah, no, Mike, we appreciate it. We love doing these streams. We love making the original content. We got more coming your way. We're working on some stuff. Our boy CJ out there wants to say hi to everybody. He's doing well. He will most likely be back. If he's not here tomorrow, he'll be here Thursday, I believe. And he might even be here on Friday. We did get a special appearance last night, so don't be greedy. But folks, we do this all the damn time. If you're new here, like, subscribe, share, tell everybody you know. If you're in a wrestling chat room, if you're talking to wrestling fans, if you're talking to anybody that has any interest in wrestling and what we cover all the time, be here. We give you live reaction, live updates. Even if we're completely fucking wrong, we do it with the piss and vinegar that you could always want. But we are here almost every single day breaking down the wrestling. And even if the wrestling on the TV sucks, we never do. We will keep the chat going, and we appreciate every minute anybody spends here. So like, subscribe, share, let everybody know we're here, and we're not going to stop. We got a crazy month ahead. Survivor Series, Extreme Rules, Halloween Havoc, whatever Tony's up to. Full Gear's coming. Impact's got what's the next one?
Bound for Glory.
Bound for Glory is coming.
Yeah.
We will cover it all. We got GCW this weekend. We got more tricks up our sleeve. We'll do double headers, triple headers. We don't give a shit. Nobody covers the wrestling the way we do. So be a part of the fun.
Now you see, folks, how he sped through part of that because he was waiting for had to anticipate me trying to slip in the what chance and everything like that. But
you don't know me.
Yeah, exactly. But no, absolutely. Even if it's just somebody you're passing on the street, they don't even got to be a wrestling fan. Just tell them to check us out. And like I've said before, give us 30 seconds, a minute of your time. I'll turn you into a wrestling fan. And like you said, even if the wrestling may suck, we never do. There's been times to where shows have gone a little sideways, or we get a 15-minute intermission. Thank you, XPW, what, GCW, what, and we'll just sit here and just try and crack jokes and just keep the conversation going and just talk about anything going on in professional wrestling.
My favorite part about this channel is the fact that it's become a big family, and anybody that kind of jumps in these chats consistently, and even the quiet fans that come in and watch all the damn time, because I know the numbers are always higher than the chatters, but it's become a big family. We know what people are up to. We're wishing them well. Day in and day out, we're the wrestling fans that you don't get in your real life. When nobody wants to hear about the latest fucking heel that turned or the latest White Rabbit rumor, come here. We got you covered.
Mm-hmm.
Is NXT okay tonight, guys? Rally Sport, okay is a good way to put it.
Barely above average.
Ooh.
Right now, but we still got about a half hour.
Ilya just hits different. By the way, that's what's happening.
That European strong style.
I love it. I think Zion should take the MMA gloves off his hands, though. I think that's a bad look for any wrestler.
Even Brocky Boy?
No, because of Brocky Boy. Like you have Brock that's kind of known as the UFC guy. Anyone else, just fucking forget it. Don't put the gloves on.
It's one of those, unless you have, like, Riddle would get away with it more than Zion would, because you have an actual legitimate UFC MMA background. Like, unless, and I could be wrong, unless I can go and watch Zion have fights, take the gloves off. Just wrap your hands up, do something.
This is my favorite question of the night so far. This is where we say we're a family, because people know what we're talking about.
Exactly. Now I love that we have inside jokes, and now we have inside jokes within the chat. And I bet you the chat has inside jokes within that.
I haven't seen Quincy yet. I mean,
thank God.
Man, fuck.
Keep that man the hell off my TV screen, please.
Listen, that clip that we passed around the other day with where he was force feeding a man his boob, there's a line, and I'm not willing to go to that far. Even a jobber, I'm like, fuck it, guys. The paycheck's not worth it.
I'm shooting. Sorry, you're getting a Brock Lesnar student.
You think, you fucking think that fucking Ace.
You wish a motherfucker would.
You think Ace Steel get down hard? You think Ace Steel bites? Stick your booby in my mouth.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
Right. Like I said, you gonna learn today. I am a boy, Damon.
I mean, even Kai is half Samoan, but she is also getting pushed, but in the group, though. Yeah, I mean, she's got it. Now, I didn't know exactly she was half Samoan. I know she's
let's not. I was going to say, let's just not say because people are from New Zealand that they're half Samoan. That's not go the full other way on that.
I mean, whatever. If the women's division is okay in NXT, Roxy or Roxanne Perez is so good main roster bound. Do you agree, AJ Nick? I'm torn with Roxy right now because she reminds me of Dora the Explorer, and I don't know what to do about it.
Backpack.
Right? Like, yeah, it's a tough sell for me.
Yeah, the NXT women's division is a little clunky, I feel. You have Toxic Attraction, and then you have everybody else. Ilya picks up the win.
As we expected.
Right?
But look, he's got that music that people want to kind of jam to and stuff. Like, there's a lot here. And by the way, one of my favorite things, like when we do a year-end review, one of the things I will push to talk about in that year-end review was Ilya's promo giving up that belt. When he had to relinquish the NXT title, NXT UK title, that was one of the best promos I've heard this year. Yes, Mike.
You have guys that are seasoned veterans. Like, that's the thing. Even Tyler Bate, who's young, he's a seasoned veteran. Ilya's young. He's a seasoned veteran. Right? Stephen Walter's still fairly young.
Oh, my God.
But they have time on their ledger already. A lot of the other people at NXT don't.
I love his Darby Allin finisher. Chuck your head at a man.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I mean, Ilya's got the whole crowd. There's Damon Kemp. Fun fact of the day. Did you know that both Bret Hart and Seth Rollins, the only two to lose at WrestleMania and walk out as champion the same night? I kind of in a roundabout way knew that, but yeah, I never connected the dots that it was only those two. That's valid, though.
Right. I can't say I knew that it was only those two, but you had Bret when he lost the match to Owen and then ended up winning
one of the
weirdest world title later that night. What?
And one of the weirdest angles, like the way it all played out. You're like, okay.
Well, the match between him and Owen was fantastic, but then you also had WrestleMania 31 to where Rollins lost to Randy earlier that night and then turned around and won in the main event. You know, the greatest heist.
The greatest heist. It was one of the greatest WrestleMania moments ever. So, yeah, no, thank you for that. New sub, Mike, we appreciate it. Keep them coming. Let everybody know.
I was going to say, and if you haven't already, be like Mike. You know, everybody wanted to be like Michael Jordan growing up, so be like Mike. Subscribe to the channel. We're here all the goddamn time. You know, the wrestling homies you didn't know you wanted.
We don't stop. We don't quit. You will be at 1K soon, subs. Cool channel, guys, and streamed. Rally, listen, me and you go back beyond this channel. So I've been seeing your name pop up in chats for a long time, buddy. So I appreciate you saying that. Did I think in 6, 7, 8 months we'd be, you know, flying? And I mean, over the last 4 months, we're putting over 200 subs up a month. It's crazy. I'm thrilled. I'm flattered. I know the boys are pumped. And I wouldn't have any other two guys rocking beside me while we do this. It's been a ball.
Because nobody does it better. What? Always here every night covering pro wrestling. What? Three baddest personalities of professional wrestling. What? Bringing everything that's going on, no matter what the company is. What? Taking suggestions from the fans on what we should cover. What?
We don't sleep.
Fans, by fans. What? Should like, share, and subscribe. What?
By the way, he has a T-shirt with that on it.
Right. By the way, in case you're also wondering, my wife fucking hates that.
I feel like one day I'm going to meet your wife. She's going to be like, I fucking hate everything. Turned him into a what machine.
Oh, she's not a fan of you at times. I'm just a fucking soundboard at this point. I'm really not here. I'm off doing something else.
Right.
He just sits in the
hologram. Yo, it's funny. We'll get back to that after. But don't take this the wrong way, but you guys are pretty good. No homo.
Pause. See, you ended it wrong. You should have, instead of saying that, you just got to say pause and you're good.
And I don't know how you can take that. I mean, you can't really take that wrong, except the last part. I mean, but even if it was homo, good for you. Right. We are pretty good. Raleigh, thank you. Ilya for the win. Good call. Charisse, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here tonight. Hagen, what's going on? How y'all doing tonight? I mean, we're having fun on a Tuesday.
Come out at night. The freaks come out at night.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Yes.
Hola, ¿dónde estás?
I don't. You lost me after that one. Hello, Hagen. We got to learn French. You guys got Spanish. We're good.
I actually took French in high school because I grew up closer to the border, so I figured that would have been more the prominent thing. And then I realized, but there's this whole thing called the rest of the country, jackass. And I was really not thinking that part through. And I hated French. I got kicked out of class quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think you could tell if you watched 5 seconds of me, you can tell.
You get the option here to stop doing French in like grade 10. It's no longer mandatory. And that's what your boy did, was like, au revoir.
Au revoir. So he just in there, so long, farewell.
Boss.
Did you guys have Latin?
Some places, and not many though. Like a lot of it. I mean, I'm sure some Canadians out there were like, "Oh, we did in our school," but no.
We had 3 options: Spanish,
we never messed
French,
with
and Latin. Oh,
that's hilarious. The whimsical Wendy Chu.
Well, it's funny she's talking about nails on a chalkboard, and goddamn it, if that isn't what I'm hearing right now, and hearing her talk.
Why are they doing that shit?
Because it's Wendy Chu. If you already didn't fucking hate her, you do now.
Right. Charisse, I'm not sure if you're trying to make a point. I'm looking forward to the women's PWI 500. We will do a show on the women's 500 like we did for the men's. I don't know if we're going to dive into this right now, Rally Sport, but you got some really good options there for number 1. Either one could be a valid argument.
Oh,
you'd be so mad when it's Jade. You're going to be so mad when it's Jade.
No, because I don't think it's any of those 3.
Who's your number 1?
Oh, fuck. You would put me on a spot right now.
Well, you said
Taya.
Oh, well, I mean, that's my girl. Again, she's she's on fire. She's had an incredible year. So that's a wicked pick. What's up? Charisse, hi. You got this. I think we do.
Maybe just a little.
Right? Alexander. Hi, Charisse. Is it just me? Candice LeRae didn't get much of a pop on Raw. Yeah, I thought it was a little subdued, but I mean, Candice LeRae wasn't a big star, a big name. And someone might argue that she was, but she wasn't. So she might have got a sufficient entrance.
Yeah, she was not as big as her husband, no offense, but also, like I even said, the music that they used initially, I think it's because you hadn't heard it in so long, you forgot about it. Because I instantly almost thought it was like the spooky Alexa music with like the, crank on the Jack in the Box. So I think that's why it kind of also fell a little flat.
Yeah, I mean, it took a minute, but even when it comes up, I mean, a good chunk of the fans, again, especially in a WWE arena, they're looking at it going, 60% of them are like, oh, it's Candice. And there's a good chunk of them who are like, who? So that's what I think happened there. It was a bit of a mid response, but I think it's good. She comes in, gets a solid win, and let her build herself up. But she's already arguing with Bayley and such. So we'll see. She can go in the ring. She's known, obviously known for training a lot of wrestlers and working with a lot of wrestlers. So there is a lot that we can do with Candice. It was a little flat, but she's not a big name. I think it was conducive of that.
I think she will be now that she's on the main roster consistently and everything. Because even CJ showed us, and even you and I know just from watching, wrestling going back, is she almost at times had more extreme and harder hitting matches than her husband did. So she's
she nails. She don't fuck around. She'll take a gusher, no problem.
Right. Well, we saw pause on that. But we saw, to where she sat there and she took why am I blanking on Cedric Alexander's finisher?
Yeah. She took the I think I just sent it actually one of them very similar, the The lumbar check.
Yeah, there we go.
Got that. Dragunov versus Walter. Remember how good it was? We will get that again, and I think we will get it on the main roster.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, we will get that again. So, folks, my boy is going to take a little pause for the cause as we head towards the final 20 minutes of the show tonight. Rocking and rolling. So let me get back to where that comment was. I think we will get this again. I think at some point we're building towards this. Now, the good news is we have an opportunity right now to groom Ilya. Ilya's a veteran. He's been around, but to put him in the face of the North American fans. We've only had glimpses of him in North America, unless you're, the diehard fans that are following it all, like some of us are. You really do have to awaken a lot of people to who Ilya is. I'm looking forward to them getting there. I'm in time. I think Ilya could be the next NXT champion. I think sooner than later, Bron Breakker is going to be main roster. And I really want to see another match between these two. They tore it down. Ilya reminds me like a more serious version of Bob Backlund. Whoo, Chris, pulling out the Bob Backlund reference. I see where you're going with that. Very like the traditionalist, purist. I think Ilya's got a little more fire in him than Backlund does, but Backlund had some fire as a heel. I like the comparable. I don't mind that. What's up, Ringer? How you doing, buddy? Happy Tuesday. Boss sharing some love. A fine idea. I like it. Edward, good to see you. How great was the Bloodline segment on SmackDown? Ringer, that was phenomenal. And if you were watching us live, I mean, we took it hook, line, and sinker. We were right there. Actually, I should snip that and put that out. It was real fun. And we went through that emotion with a lot of the fans. I've listened to a lot of podcasters, some of our counterparts. By the way, Kemp was fighting one of the Creed brothers, and now he's just laying waste to him with a chair. So we're not getting any type of conclusion to this. And here come the refs. Damon Kemp has just lost his shit. And I don't know if you guys caught this. The beginning of this match was pretty good, where they were really they were trying to make it look like a shoot. All right. Damon says, if you want some, come get some. No, that segment was outstanding. Everybody thought. I mean, we've always been waiting for Sammy to get booted from the Bloodline. We know he's the comic relief, the haphazard friend that doesn't belong, the neighbor that won't go home. And it looked like finally they had enough. And I at first, we were like, I don't know. When Jay ripped his shirt off, we were like, fuck, it is over. And then, hey, there's Sanga talking to Quincy. So ask and ye shall receive. Somebody brought up Quincy, and here he goes. What? Whiskey, what? Beer, what? I almost feel bad for doing that. What? This is one of the best channels that I've ever watched wrestling on. Damien, you're too sweet. You're too kind. I greatly appreciate that. We appreciate your kind words. So thank you so much. All right. So Quincy making fun of Zion, not happy about it. Mike laughing. If I was in NXT, I would be in the Diamond Mine. I don't think the Diamond Mine really exists anymore. And here comes Gallus. It's funny, they just Gallus. Let us know in the chat if you got a prediction. If you already know the answer, I don't want to hear it. But if you truly have a guess, I'm all ears. Rocco, the Judgment Day, and Rollins versus Riddle, AJ Edge, and Mysterio 4-on-4 at Survivor Series But I also heard that Logan Paul, AJ is the next in line for Roman. After Logan Paul, AJ is next in line. I believe we're getting the Good Brothers. I believe AJ is going to get his club back. AJ doesn't want to be involved, doesn't want to fuck around, doesn't want anything to do with Judgment Day. I do think there's potential here that the Good Brothers come back. Maybe there's a lot of like members of the Bullet Club floating around out there. Whether it's in New Japan or whether it's in MLW or Impact. Hold on tight. The Good Brothers are doing a couple of bookings and such out in New Japan. I believe there's a high potential that they return and help AJ Styles. So we'll see where that goes. And maybe that does put him in line. I don't know. It would be a bit of a, oh shit, here's AJ, but we'll see. Brutus for the win. No win. Hassan, welcome back. Rally Sport. Okay, French. Je m'appelle Raleigh. I don't know. You're on your own. Kemp for the win. Ah, crap. It's Wendy Chu. The Whimsical. So she's already being billed. She's actually being billed as the comic relief. That's what makes me kind of chuckle at this is you can't take her serious. She told you right out of the gate. The Whimsical Wendy Chu. Yeah, I choose not to pay attention. I choose not to watch. And I would like her to choose another gimmick. I did 5 years of French school. You're a brave man, Rally Sport. Especially being from the UK. I mean, I guess you guys have a lot of crossover that way. Indie best friends. KO, Sammy, Johnny, Ciampa versus Bloodline at War Games. Whew. A lot of names. We've surmised about KO, Sammy coming together. I mean, we've seen KO and Johnny reunite to bring back the Panda Express. DIY is in the mix there. Ciampa needs to get the fuck away from the Miz. Am I the only one that feels that? KJ finisher, stroke, Big Nick's finisher, cross key cradle. It's so funny that you say, like, I don't know what brought you to that, but it's kind of ironic if you're being a smart ass. But at one point, yeah, the stroke was kind of a go-to move. It's your favorite wrestler, KJ Wendy Chu. I know you love her. Listen, I believe Wendy is talented. I believe that she has done well. She shows signs that she can wrestle. She shows signs that she's very comfortable being on screen. She's shown signs that she's very comfortable with a microphone. Her gimmick sucks. Absolute shit. It is awful. I don't like it. If you lose to a person who's trying to take a nap in the middle of the fucking match, you suck at wrestling. You should quit. Wendy, I mean, I think if you want to put little moons and stars on wrestling attire and she wrestles but kind of plays it up, fine. She's like a backstage narcoleptic that turns into a fucking wrestler, great. But no, the whole pajamas and like waking up in a bed and nah, it's too fucking, was it the big comfy couch bullshit? And we're in a commercial, by the way. I would love if you guys did a prediction show starting with Survivor Series. Edward, we do prediction shows. What it's called is Let's Rumble. Let's Rumble is our weekly podcast. And on the podcast, when there is a big show coming up, we will spend a portion of our show going through predictions. So, for example, Extreme Rules is coming up. Next Thursday, we will be doing predictions for Extreme Rules. Then when Survivor Series comes around, we'll do the same. So do keep in mind, we will do predictions. A lot of times we'll jump on early on big shows like Survivor Series. I can imagine we'll be on 25, 30 minutes early to talk about our predictions. But tune into Let's Rumble. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube or you don't have a time to sit down and watch us ramble and go on about wrestling, go to Spotify or anywhere else you get your podcasting pleasure. Look up Wrestling for Life Network and listen to us there. Put us in your earbuds while you're working out and listen to us ramble. Let's Rumble is one of the most fun I ever have on these streams. Is just being able to kind of cut loose and not really worry about what's on screen, not really worry about the chat, just kind of do what we do and debate wrestling. And I happen to be blessed with two very good arguers in CJ and Nick, who will never back down from having their opinion, and they're quite entertaining and hilarious when we get into it. So if you've tuned into the Rumble, it's a good time. Number one, not today, Mike. DMD, not bad. I don't think so. I just feel like she fell off, and it's been a while. Like 2022 hasn't been great for DMD. Am I wrong? When did Will last appear? 3 months ago. But stay tuned. There might be a funny update on that. So stay tuned. Big shout out to my boy Will. Good shout, Taya Valkyrie, Nick. Yeah, it was a good call. All right. So Alba Fire setting more shit on fire, and we're getting a preview that next week on the Grayson Waller Effect. We're getting Cora and Roxy. Dun, dun, dun. Now the Rose Sunny Kiss, my cat. Somehow they're all related. I think Tony Storm gets the PW. Nah, dude. Hagen, and that's I think that's a little bit of recency bias, my friend. I think that she's had it. Could she be number one next year? Yes. Could she be ranked pretty well because she won the title? Yes, but she also had some layoffs. She had a shit run in the WWE. She wasn't booked. She wasn't used. So yeah, I wouldn't go number one with Tony, but she'll definitely make a decent number on the top 500. Well, Brooks and Jensen are on the way out, also known as Brooks and Dunn, if you follow along. Do you have to pay to see NXT live? I don't think so. I think it's a studio audience. Maybe I'm wrong. By the way, where is Cedric at? Just off in the abyss. Listen, if you guys want my thought on that, Hagen, bring back the Hurt Business. Even you got MVP still rocking around with Omos. I say keep Omos. That's almost the best thing possible. If Omos was the heavy, you got Lashley, they had money, flat money with the Hurt Business, and they fucked it up. So I'd be all for a Hurt Business reunion. For those, oh shit. Jensen just chucked a garbage can. Looks like Nikki Ash might change to Nikki Cross chucking her mask. About fucking time. Am I the only one that says about almost a winner, almost a wrestler, almost? Nikki Cross was amazing as Crazy Nikki. I give the lady credit. At a time where she wasn't being booked, wasn't being used, she went to the bosses and said, "You guys love cartoony shit. What do you think about this?" And they went, "Let's do it." But beyond that, it was a bad choice. Almost a Superhero is a shit concept to begin with, and it just never got off. And then once she got, the Money in the Bank and that all happened, they just fucking ruined it. So let's go, Nikki. Let's go crazy.
Yeah. Fitting that you say let's go Nikki and let's go crazy and I show up.
Right.
But yeah, no, I call her almost a wrestler for a reason because for whatever reason, when she put on the cape and the cowl, she forgot how to actually do a professional wrestling match.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. And her taking the mask off this week. And again, if it leads to something, great, fucking great. Put her in a faction again, do something. But I remember that lady was in NXT doing ladder matches and she was phenomenal.
Right. And we've got tables now. We've got furniture, folks.
Did you see this? Gallus pulls out a table, and then the other team does too, and everybody's like, "What?"
They're like, "We can't figure out the legs, so we put it in a corner."
It's a weird standoff.
That's what it feels
they're running away.
I like, though, that Gallus has to wear matching shirts so you don't fucking forget who they are. Way to make them look like jobbers if you got to wear matching uniforms.
Right. What is happening right now? Even the crowd is like, guys, are you going to fight?
Today, Junior. Oh yeah, I think chair versus trash can lid. That's more aluminum foil than anything. Is the chair's gonna win?
Okay. Listen, I'm a big fan of Gallus. So the idea that their garbage can lids get knocked out of their hand and they took the time to try and pick them up is stupid. Like, why would you do that in any situation? Why would you? There's a man beating you with a chair. Why would you bend over and give him your back?
Because Sean can't book or write like Hunter can. So I mean, when you can't tell which fucking page you're writing the notes on, I think stuff's gonna get misconstrued. Wendy Chu is someone that does some stupid shit, like sits there and, oh, let me go and get it again as you're swinging a fucking chair at me. Not Gallus.
Sorry, I just saw your comment now. I'm catching up.
I got a couple of them in here.
Which is worse, Wendy Chu or Orange Cassidy? Fucking hell. I think Wendy Chu's worse because Orange Cassidy's over.
Mm-hmm. Orange Cassidy can at least get carried to a good match like he did against Ospreay. Mm-hmm. So Wendy Chu, you can't do that. You got fucking Legos and God knows what else. They don't even trust her putting her with someone halfway decent. So
right. CJ's little brother. That's funny as hell.
That's mean.
I miss Fat Walter.
Husky Walter.
We don't use the F word on this channel, so fucking knock it off.
I'm in shape. Round is the shape.
Round is the shape.
Right.
Pleasantly plump is also a thing. You are the bald. Me?
I am the machine.
I don't know. I'm definitely the bald, I suppose. The bald and the beautiful.
I'm not beautiful, so where the fuck is that at?
Right. No, I go often. Just subscribe to their Facebook page, and you can get a seat on there. There you go. Edward fills you in.
For what? What?
NXT. So he goes for free. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think it was a studio audience, like going to Family Feud and shit.
Coming, yeah, we're gonna get slimed and all that.
Right.
I mean, with the Nickelodeon colors, I believe it. Coming next on all that.
I'm a little disappointed in 1 year of NXT, the Rainbow brand. Nobody did get slimed once. Not once.
I'm surprised it only lasted a year.
Right. I'm shocked, but I mean, that's when if Vince was still around and Bruce was still, calling more shots than he is, it probably would have been around for a while.
Right.
Sucked for a while.
Pause.
Is it me or does Marcel Barthel look like Ilya?
Little bit. I mean, I could see where you're going with there. A little bit of a reach, but a little bit.
Is it because they both look like chalk?
It's because they both have the same haircut.
And they're both pale as shit and blonde.
Right, because they're both European.
They're both European. That's the conclusion we got to.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I mean, a little bit. I have to look again. I think Zanga, Veer Mahan are future NXT tag team. Yes, listen. No. I don't even think you take Zanga out of NXT, take Veer out of NXT, and you drop that tag team on the main roster. Why would you put them with the kids? I think you can take, those are two grown-ass gigantic men. Right. Put them on the main roster. Let them fuck some shit up. Putting them down with, who are they going to fight? Brooks and Jensen? That should be a squash match for them.
Well, I was going to say, Jensen just took a knee to the chair to the face. So the bridge of his nose probably broken.
That was rude.
Right. But no, treat them like you should have treated the Authors of Pain when they showed up.
Yeah. That's what I think you should do with them. I don't think, I mean, it looks weird when like Sanga's talking to Cora Jade and it looks like he can hold her in his palm and just be like, you're pretty. Like, nah, move them up. Let's go. Wow. I'm looking, know who haven't we talked about in a minute? Fucking Escobar and crew. We know that's been a month of not talking about him.
They're the White Rabbit.
Fuck off. Electra Lopez is the White Rabbit.
Like I said, we could do a whole, tier list of, who's who, where do these, conspiracy theories rank? Oh, you heard that one.
Gimmick infringement. That's funny as shit.
Yeah.
I was just reading the chat, man. It felt
right.
It felt uncomfortable.
Well, and then too, I saw, the Super Diva showed up. So that's what I was saying. I know how to pick Briggs.
Yeah.
Dodged a bullet there, folks.
What?
What?
What is happening right now?
Too. What? Brooks and Dunn are getting taken to the woodshed. That's what's happening right now.
I guess by my counter, we're at pretty much the top of the hour, Nick. So,
I mean, I was wondering, are they really, with it being a pub rules brawl match, whatever, that they're not going to give that only like 9 minutes, are they? Like, you can't do it that fast unless you literally have a team just get decimated. So
I think what surprises me is it's a pub rules match and they're whipping the shit out of these two men, but it's been a very, like you said, you had 9 minutes, very slow pace to this one.
That's why I think that's to me what's surprising me is that this is, I guess, quote unquote, taped, and it was taped to go over.
That
it's very clearly going to go over. We're nowhere near the end of this match, I don't believe.
Oh shit! I've heard
the terms of table now, so Brooks and Jensen are laying the leather to Gallus.
Ooh, clapping. How do they get there? How do they get Rollins to Seth? To Roman? That would be fucked.
The only way would be he wins the fight pit match, I think, because I don't think you can have him take a loss and then go catapult up to that.
Oh, but
you can still always tie it into that, it was a little iffy on the way. It's a little bit like with KO's case. It was a little iffy on how Roman won. So you can always just tie that back in. There's always that Shield connection to pull on that whenever.
Mm-hmm. But don't forget, we still have Karrion kicking around. We still have other people kicking around, and we don't know who else is joining the fray. And one thing that's kind of cool is, like we said with Escobar, well, not that he's going after Roman, but people have said that would be cool. But Triple H has also peeled back a bunch of people and just didn't say anything, right? Elias, Escobar. We've seen people just kind of get peeled back and wait for relaunch. So, I mean, we got some things to work out. Rollins versus Roman. I don't know. I think Riddle has to win this fight pit match.
Well, I think, though, Roman has to be on Survivor Series as a champion in some form or way. You have to get him involved. I don't think you do a War Games match unless you do that. Then, and Joe Coffey through the table. And like Aaron says down there, Briggs and Stratton are getting beat like a government mule. I love that. Oh,
Julia Hart. What's up, Hassan?
Yeah, we got that one.
Wendy Hatu. My name is
Total elimination with the trash can on that. Wow. So surprising to me, Briggs and Jensen go over. Everybody gets a table. You get a table. You get a table.
That match sucked.
Yeah, that was a weak way to end that. I think they peaked like first hour, like top of the hour, around 9 o'clock, and it's been back downhill.
Sleepy time, Festus.
Well, you were saying about how, if she just woke up, and managed to turn into a good wrestler or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Did you see a ref won? Yes, we did. Yeah, I didn't even know. I'd give it back to R-Truth. Even if he never defends it, just give it to him. Let him walk around with it forever.
Right. Just have R-Truth just retire that belt like Jade Cargill should retire the TBS title.
Yeah. Come out and give a big speech about how, he can't defend it anymore. And just, it's done. He's fuck.
Right. You come up with either a new mid-card or just you stay to the AW belt and the Ring of Honor women's belt. Like,
give Sami Zayn the 24/7 title.
No, because he already had Solo lose the North American because he wasn't facing, even though he got the pinfall and left the arena with the belt and he played his entrance music and The ref counted 1, 2, 3, and all that.
Oh, what the hell, dude? Look.
Oh, ref down, ref down.
Ref down.
How is the ref the one that takes the hardest bump out of everybody? Oh, they're getting arrested because they struck a WWE official. How many times has that happened on WWE TV?
Never.
None of that's ever happened.
Never. Look, the cops showed up. They were on standby.
Yeah, Chippendales is fucking showing up because
right.
Bullies.
Speaking of security,
that wears still outfits like that.
Shout out to my buddy Mike in Alberta, who was one of the security guys at Raw last night.
Oh, no shit.
No shit. KJ and Nick, thoughts on the women's War Game Bel Air team should add Tegan Knox. Remember, Dakota Kai turned not a bad shoot. The crap out of the War Games. That was one of my favorite things ever because Dakota Kai turned, but like emphatically turned.
Right. Well, to me, unless Tegan Knox couldn't go at Clash because of, still being physically unable to, if you're going to bring Tegan back, you do it there. You don't wait all the way till Survivor Series or the Go Home Raw or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chew and Lash Legend sucks. Yeah, that's a terrible rivalry. And I think Lash needs a new name. Briggs and Stratton for the win. That was correct. Can't stand Cora Jade. Can't stand her either, Edward. She sucks. I haven't seen anything in the ring that makes me give a shit. And when she does a promo as a heel, it's a whiny teenager that you just, no, none of you. Like, what do you mean? I want to see my boyfriend.
But she was a skater girl.
Yeah, pretty much. From day one. Yeah, I don't care for it. She was better off as a babyface. At least you could oh, she's cute. We want to see her do well. No. A pain in the ass as a heel. And not in a good way. It's go the fuck home heat.
Right.
I'm looking forward to the return of MLW Fusion. And on the first episode, Taya Valkyrie. Yes, Damien. I think you mentioned that yesterday. I'm a big fan of Taya Valkyrie. Anytime that she's defending anything. Yeah, MLW does well. I've watched it. Sometimes their shows are just all over the place. Like you're trying to watch and you're like, what is happening?
Well, that's the thing too, is even trying to track down exactly when their shows are versus like when they happen versus when they're live, all of that, It gets a little lost in the mist there.
Here comes Brooks and Dunn. I predict Gallus. You were wrong. They could make Brooks and Jensen like the APA. Yes, but they got to find their dicks and figure out how to fucking be better.
You went there. I was going to say they'd just be having juice boxes instead of beer.
Yeah. No, they got to man up. They got to treat them like adults. Now, at least they just got a big win. Clearly, it's not over with Gallus, but
yeah, I was going to say Gallus is the one that looks like, I guess, the badass in the end of, they took out a ref and they're sitting there just getting handcuffed, just still staring at him. Just do something.
Right. What's more rare, getting tickets for NXT 2.0 or winning the lottery? I mean, you just go to Facebook and sign up. So I would say the lottery.
Well, no, I mean, technically, with getting tickets to 2.0, not going to happen anymore. You can get tickets to NXT, but it won't be to 2.0. So I guess, right. If we're going to look at that deeper, pause.
Hi, KJ Nick. How would you guys adjust the character for Briggs and Jensen? Make them men. We that's a simple, quick answer.
Swap them for Mance Warner and the one called Manders.
Oh wow, you're going that route. Then like just completely replace them.
Just complete. I like that Tony Khan meme there. Right.
Right. But Briggs and Jensen have been billed as just like hapless fools where they can't figure their shit out. They don't know how to date. Like, they're fucking two decent looking athletic dudes. You really tell me they can't walk into a bar and land a girl or two? And I get what they were trying to do. It just came off fake and bullshit. They're not great actors, so stop trying to make them act. And we haven't seen enough of them in the ring, so this is more and this is better. But that match sucked.
They look like they'd just be like Hangman Adam Page's buddies.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Which is dumber, Edge's Mountain of Omnipotence or Roman's Island of Relevancy?
The Mountain of Omnipotence, because it's harder to say. The Island of Relevancy absolutely fits Roman's character. The Mountain of Omnipotence just sounded like Edge. Just how many syllables can I fit into this promo?
The mountain of omnipotence. Everybody's last appearance will 3 months ago to thank you, Skittle, for keeping us up to date on where our friends are.
Trying to keep stats because if you're trying to keep stats, you're inaccurate first off. So
Skittle likes to pop in once in a while and just say random shit, but
no.
Just to make it help you, I mean, we still talk to them on a regular, so yeah, okay. 1 year ago we weren't here. 7 months ago they just started, and it was just me and LJ and Will.
Right, so like I said, you can't do math, so
yeah, get a calendar
all away, I guess.
Right, that's what I said. Marcel Barthel was Helia. Okay, put Theory and Waller in a team in the main roster, biggest a-hole team.
No, go away Heat.
Could work. Santos is a White Rabbit.
That's going to be the new Theory popping up.
It's Elias.
Jesus Christ. So we're going to have to wait until that man grows a beard before we get the White Rabbit?
How long going to fucking take to grow a beard? Let's go.
I don't know. Get Rogaine, something.
Right. Briggs and Stratton are getting the beat like government mules. I like it. This match is sad to watch. It really was. I'm liking NXT tonight. It's been a good show. By the way, get your ratings in real quick so we can go home. Brooks and Dunn won. Yes, they did. A-Town says 6 out of 10.
See, speak of ratings and they shall appear.
Right? 6 out of 10 from Chris as well. Wow. That might be the lowest Chris has ever given any show ever.
No, Bailey. So that's why.
How has the evil Dominic Mysterio gimmick been going? Shit, if it wasn't for Rhea Ripley.
Mid.
It's getting better.
It's getting over because it's funny.
No, but I mean, it's getting over because it's got an element of entertainment to it, and you're like, all right, now he's acting like an annoying little prick that his dad should hit with a chair. What are you waiting for, Ray?
It's the most amount of character Dominic Mysterio has ever shown in his entire life.
No, and again, it's a good change, and what has happened by accident, I think. But this thing with him and Rhea, it turned into money. Listen, I've been saying for months, get rid of fucking Dominic or put him in NXT. But what he's got with Rhea right now, man, make Rhea the leader of that group and get going.
Is that saying, though, that Rhea's turned chicken shit into chicken salad, though?
Yeah.
Because Rhea's, like you said, Rhea should be the leader of that group. Rhea's the biggest star out of that entire group. Finn Balor and Damian Priest just seem like lackeys to Rhea. And Dom's just kind of the lapdog.
Right. I with Edward. I can't stand Cora Jade. There you go. I'm with you on that. Do you see Tegan Knox coming back to WWE or going to AEW, KJ or Nick? I could see her coming back at this point now. We'll see. I don't know.
ICW.
She might want to take a break.
I think she goes and wrestles over in Europe and everything. Because do you want to go into the chaotic locker room that is AEW? No. Like I said earlier, I feel like if WWE is going to bring her back, unless it's literally she just still needs medical clearance and she's still rehabbing injuries, what have you, which is completely understandable, they missed the boat of the biggest pop she's going to get.
Right. Imagine if MJF and Andrew Tate had a feud.
Let's not say we did.
Yeah, I'm not really clamoring for that. Honestly, I think it would be good to bring back JBL and have him be the mouthpiece for Brooks and Jensen. Ooh. Anthony, welcome back, by the way. Interesting. Not terrible. Bring him in.
We can get Blackjack Bradshaw back,
Yeah. Well, no, keep him JBL, but he recruits, adds them to the whole group.
Yes, he likes everything in Texas. Everything's got to be a country mago.
Right. I can't believe Johnny Swinger goes one-on-one with Taya Valkyrie Thursday on Impact. I can. Why? I mean, we had Cardona and we had Grace. So, yeah, they don't shy away from intergender.
Title off of Sami Callihan, so
that's also true. It's Sammy and Jessica like a thing.
Havoc?
Yeah.
Have been.
Yeah, right?
Okay. Right, have been.
That's okay, yeah. That's awesome.
Long time.
No, I thought so. And then I was sad. I read the question and it just kind of walked in my head. 5 out of 10 from Anthony, 3 out of 10 from Hagen. Swingman, baby. Tegan Knox is the White Rabbit. Not today.
Oh, could you? Oh God, I feel like at this point you could just spin the wheel. Who is it today? And you could, but that's the thing is you could make a goddamn case for almost anybody.
Listen, it's Vince McMahon.
And hell will freeze over. It'll be the coldest day in history because hell will have officially frozen over.
Vince, you are no longer allowed to do your job. However, we're going to bring you back on screen as the White Rabbit.
It wouldn't be as bad as if Vince showed up in AEW, but I could still see just everybody of a certain vintage as a wrestling fan, their eyes would roll far into the back of their head. Pause. If Vince comes out and just does the whole it was me all along, he just takes off like the bunny head, just oh my God.
That's what it is. Or I mean, they could recreate it where like this ministry gets together and it's Bray and a bunch of other guys, and then it turns out that Triple H was behind all of it, and he does the whole "it was me, Vince."
Right.
But yeah, no, it's all speculation and rumor at this point. KJ and Nick, when do you think Shawn Michaels is going to pay off the hooded figure that's always backstage during Schism's promo? And you just want me to say Schism a couple times, eh? Like a horrible horror movie from a porn parody. Exactly where we're going with that. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Anthony, and I agree. I don't know. It's so weird. And people are like, well, does it tie into the red rabbit, the White Rabbit? What does it mean? I don't fucking know.
Do they do it before or after the rabbit? I guess I will start there.
After. I think they'll do it. Oh, maybe not. Yeah.
I say before.
I say after, and I think it will be Halloween Havoc-ish.
When's Halloween Havoc versus Extreme Rules?
I don't know. I'm
either way, I'm still saying before because I think it might potentially check one of the boxes out for who's going to be the White Rabbit.
I don't think,
but I also think they're halfway still trying to figure out who it's going to be.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think they have an end game.
Oh, you just think it's just a filler?
I don't think they've. If there's one thing I've seen from Shawn Michaels NXT is he hasn't fully thought stuff through yet. So I think it might just be kind of it's a thing that's there and we'll pay it off at some point.
The most elaborate thing ever done, Vince has ever done. It would be fucking hilarious.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
Right? Oh, you guys think I'm done with the WWE? This is mine. And he becomes the antithesis of Triple H and has his own little crew to fuck him up. It would be the Vince World Order. Let's go.
There was a Vince McMahon puppet in the Firefly Funhouse.
That is also true. I watched every episode of that motherfucker.
I did too. I have multiple times.
Right. It's all Italian. The whole thing, the mastermind behind it all was Vince.
Oh my, that would just would Bray sign up for something like that? It would shock the fucking world, though.
It would be epically insane, and it would be such a fucking you'll have half the fucking fans lose their mind and the other half just fucking jump off a bridge. Like, it is insane how polarizing that would be.
Yeah, it's one of those of does the amount of people tuning in overtake the amount of people tuning out?
Mm-hmm. Good suggestion. Might as well. Apollo is the White Rabbit. No, because he's got red eyes. I mean, it could be Waller at this point. It was a QR code that sent you to a video that the coordinates. Yes, Hagen, I feel like you're a little bit late, so these will be the last two ones I click on tonight.
Wait, we didn't get our ratings, though.
But yes, it went to, we covered all of this where it leads to, you follow all the clues, you get the coordinates, you get the call number or call letters to the Winnipeg airport, you get the coordinates to a big fucking giant pink rabbit in the middle of Italy, which who knew?
The date for SmackDown.
Yeah, you get the date for SmackDown. You get the Wyndham, Maine. You follow to the go to YouTube, right? And when we get off, go to White Rabbit Records and see what you find there. It's pretty interesting. And I'm still trying to figure out, that chains. Can this possibly tie back into those video vignettes of the door's not open and Edge and blah blah blah? But we could be here all night. We got another show to do tomorrow. Second last question. Well, actually, we'll do this. And another code sent from Wyndham, Maine. Yes, Hagen. So we'll go back here. Can you imagine if Schism and all these promos are connected to Wyatt, and that's why he's one that has been controlling everything from backstage without being on live television? Last but not least.
No.
I'll
keep it simple with that one. I think Gacy initially, and it's through no fault with him, I think it's just the way he was booked, initially came across very much, and we've said it on stream, as a discount Bray Wyatt. The worst thing you could do to that man and to try and have him keep going and get better is pair him with someone that's basically just him with a bigger star power right now.
Right. Absolutely. Let's do it. And then is tomorrow going to be Nick's birthday bash part 2? It's always a fucking party here on the stream. Tomorrow's going to be fun. Dynamite. We got lots going on. We got Bandito. We got Juice Robinson's going to be in the house. There's a lot going on. We're still raising money for mental health awareness. Look below the link. Go to Nick and mine or the channel's Instagram as well. There's links there.
Right.
Yeah. It's always a party.
We are still getting MJF. Excuse me. We are still getting MJF. That's how you know it's late.
Right. And then last but not least, the Dad World Order wants to give a shout out to Nick.
Howdy.
Howdy.
But what are you trying to age me already? Oh, I need a second part of my birthday. So now I'm just gonna like, all right, just get fucking rid of this man. Just age faster, bastard.
Nah, you're good. Young at heart. You'll be fine.
Oh God.
We'll keep going. We'll keep doing this. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. That is NXT 2.0 for the last time, I think. So we will be back tomorrow night. We got Dynamite, like we said. Thursday, we got Rumble. Doubleheader Friday, maybe a triple header. Stay tuned. And then Saturday, we got some independent wrestling as well. So we will be back all week long. We'll be talking about a White Rabbit all week long. We'll be following the stories. We'll be following the rumors. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. As always, I am KJ White. That is Big Nick. Shout out to our buddy CJ and Nick. Final thoughts.
With the dying breath of NXT 2.0 and we get the first breath of the new NXT, our shit is real, our shit is raw, our shit is authentic. When you talk about that wrestling, you better put that for life with it.
That's it, folks. See you on the flip side. Bye-bye.